Hey everyone, thought we would take a few minutes to discuss how to properly write a thesis. Um, Pretty much there are three parts to a thesis. There is the main point you are arguing, the specifics that you will be detailing, and the answer to that so what question, the answer to why is this important question. Okay? So let's discuss these three parts in detail. The main point. It's the general point you intend to prove. For many of you, you think this is a thesis, but it's not exactly, it's one part of a thesis, but not exactly what you would want for a thesis. A thesis should be a complicated long sentence. It should be, think, and it should scream loudly to the reader that this is the thesis, this is the general point, this is the main point. Okay? The main point should also have a may establish a point that has some controversy. There's no point in making a thesis that everyone agrees with or already knows. Okay, so there should be some debate when it comes to that main point that you're making. Yes, the Holocaust was bad. Well, obviously, that's a very obvious thesis. So you wouldn't want to make that kind of main point because it's far too uh, obvious, and you would want something with a bit more controversy. Okay. You should also try to avoid broad generalizations. Um, just try to get as specific as possible. Although I understand that the main point might have to encompass a fair amount of ideas, but try your best to avoid good, bad. This is interesting. Just try to get to the specific point you really want to tell. Okay. So an example here is American colleges are getting too expensive. Okay. All right. Let's get to specifics. So what you want to do is connect your specifics to the body paragraphs you intend to write. So, and it should also be something that supports your general statement. So a good example from the previous example to expand on is schools are more focused on expansion, executive pay, and sports. Okay, so you could then spend a paragraph on each area: expansion, executive pay, or sports, or maybe more than a paragraph, whatever you feel is necessary to properly get your point across. But notice that all of this evidence supports the first main point you wanted to make. Okay. Now, the so what part is the most difficult part. It requires some creative thought. It requires you to think outside the box. And this is one of the more important skills you need to learn for 1301. So this is something you should practice with. Okay, spend some time on the so what part. The so what part explains the importance of the project, the importance of whatever it is you're trying to point out. Okay, it also has an intriguing element. It should have something that would make people go, oh, well, that's something. That's an interesting thought. I would like to continue reading because I like that. Okay, I like what you're trying to get at. Okay, that's what the so what part needs to do. Okay, so the example here is, if this trend continues, then college will become a heavy financial burden that most students will never recover from. So it is obviously continuing from the previous examples, and let's just put it all together. American colleges are getting too expensive because schools are more focused on expansion, executive pay, and sports, and if this trend continues, then college will become a financial burden that most students will never recover from. That is what we want to see in the thesis. You'll notice the main point is there, you'll notice the specifics are there, and you'll notice the importance of the point you're making is also there. Okay, those are all the three major elements of a thesis that you need to put in there. I understand it's a long sentence, but that's fine. Don't feel weirded out because it's a unwieldy or long sentence. this is a working draft of a thesis, obviously. You can spend some time polishing it, you can trim it down, you can work on it, and you'll often find that just having a working thesis will give you better structure than not having one. Okay?